Hi, I'm Ruthie Kim and I'm the founder of Because Justice Matters. Because Justice Matters is a faith-based organization located in the heart of San Francisco's Tenderloin district. I didn't actually grow up in a city. It was actually very opposite. I grew up in a small village in the heart of English countryside. I was raised by two really loving parents, really safe home. It was really everything you imagine when you think about the British countryside. It was a wonderful childhood. As I look back on my life, I see some significant moments that led me here to San Francisco. One of them was a school trip to Paris when I was about 13 years old. We went out one night and we were in this really high place overlooking the city and the Eiffel Tower. Everything was black and the Eiffel Tower was lit up so bright, so beautiful, and I just started crying. And I realized in that moment that there was like something going on inside of me, but I had no idea what it was. And I had this moment where I realized God loves cities. Like, He's for cities. He believes in cities. They're such powerful and influential places. And as I look back now, I realize that that moment really set the course of my life that brought me here to San Francisco. At 18 years old, I moved here to the Tenderloin of San Francisco. And as you can imagine, it was completely different to my upbringing, my childhood. Busy streets, really loud. But somehow I fell in love with San Francisco, its beauty and its people. I settled down here and I made this my home. Around the same time, my brother David died very suddenly. It was out of nowhere, unexpected, and he was my only sibling and I never got to say goodbye. This was really the first significant loss I'd ever experienced in my life. And when you experience something like that, tragedy, pain, trauma, it kind of takes you to this place where you feel like you don't know if you're ever going to come back. You feel hopeless, you feel despairing. You wonder if you're ever going to find your feet again. It's a really vulnerable and scary place to be in. Going through this season of grief with my brother and losing him, it opened my eyes to my neighbors here in the Tenderloin to hear their stories. We often think of poverty as being without resources, without money, and that's definitely part of it. But poverty is so much bigger than that. Poverty also includes being without connections, being without community, being without authentic relationship. And when we look at people through that lens, we suddenly realize we can all relate, we can all connect with that idea of not having community, especially here in a city like San Francisco. It can be hard to connect, it can be hard to go deep. One of the first things that we did 10 years ago at BJM was to start throwing parties for women. We wanted to create these safe places where women could come in and experience community, experience really meaningful relationships. So we started doing that by painting nails, washing feet, handing out clothes and shoes and hugs, and anything really that helped women feel connected.
Hello, my name is Myra, and I lived in the Tenderloins for 14 years. And it was scary because I didn't want people to push drugs on me. So that was my biggest fear, that I was going to get caught up in the drugs. A long time ago, I walked in the doors, coming to a nail day thing. They had the signpost up in the door about nail day. And I slowly, little by little, crawled over to the table and started sitting with them and chatting with them. And next thing I knew, I was off to a running start and you couldn't stop me. I would just talk. They couldn't shut me up.
Over the years, we've welcomed so many women into our nail day, and out of that developed small groups, whether it was Art for the Heart, small healing groups, Chit Chat Cafe, and now a powerful 12-step program. All of this was community. All of this was building deep friendships and connections with women in our neighborhood. And what happens in these spaces where women gather, whether it's a nail day or a small group, it's powerful. Lives are changed, transformation happens, and really beautiful things begin to take place.
I started going to Chit Chat in 2013, I believe, when we started. I came there because I just wanted to just sit and just casually talk to some people and make friends.
BJM started organically growing. This message that women are loved by God, that they're valuable, that they're leaders in their communities, started to resonate further and further. We started expanding the ministry that we do, going into strip clubs and supporting women. Women started to ask if we'd take them to rehab or if we would support them in their sobriety, and we began to see the hope return to their eyes.
I wanted real friends. That's all. I was just seeking friends. That's all I was. I guess I was just a lonely old lady just for seeking friends. And I kept coming because most of them was younger and they made me feel young. So that's why I kept going there. They kept made me feel very welcome and warm and comfortable and young. And it's like, I forgot all about the difference in the age. They just talked with me like, when we just started going, and I kept going like, okay, this is cool. I can go with this.
After a few years, we realized that working with girls was going to be an important part of our story. Trauma happens young. Challenges come fast and hard of girls growing up in the Tenderloin. But if we could instill hope, if we could empower them to lead, then we could set them up for a bright future. We started dance classes as a way to build relationships, instill confidence, and empower girls to lead in their community. Our first registration day, every dance class filled up. And now some of those girls that walked through those doors on that first day are the leaders in our program 5 years later.
I was like 8 years old when I first came, and Natalie was 35, and we had like a little tutus on and like our leotards and our tights and our shoes, just like ballerina type of costume we had to wear for dance classes, and just how fun it was. Walking around the Tenderloin can make you feel unsafe and scared because you never know what could happen. BJ makes you feel comfortable and more like loving, and like wanna maybe live in the Tenderloin if you're just visiting here. We saw a mural on Gordon Gate and Jones, and it's a 3-part mural. One of the sides is a mural of the Tenderloin in the past, and in the middle one is the Tenderloin right now. And the last one is what the artist wanted it to be in the future. The one she drew for the future is big, like green type of community where it's like you see like a family, and you see kids walking around and riding their bicycle, and it just gives hope for the Tenderloin and to make it a better place. Some of my dreams is to keep up dancing in BJM and maybe to teach dance.
When you give a child the gift of dance, it's so much more than movement. It's community, it's healing, it's empowerment, it's hope. That 13-year-old girl overlooking the Eiffel Tower had no idea that she would end up in San Francisco. But I found a community of people who believe what I believe, and that is that women are valuable, that God is for them, and that together we can make an impact. I think that most of us have no idea what a difference we can make in somebody else's life, no idea the impact we can have if we just say yes. We all have this opportunity to say yes and believe I can do something, I can make a difference in somebody else's life. Because Justice Matters, we're building a legacy of transformation and hope. 10 years strong and so many more years ahead. We're all called to build a legacy that will outlive us. Just imagine what's possible if we all say yes.